Level 1. The church bell ringer. You are not a baseball player. You are 11, and you are the kid who rings the church bell wrong. Weddings start late because of you. Funerals begin too early. Easter service once opened with the bell echoing over the pastor's first words. Your mother cleans the sanctuary at Greater Hope Baptist in Grafton. You ring the bell for $20 because the rope is the only paid work in the building sized for a child. Then, during a funeral, the rope snaps. The bell is mid-swing. The tower shudders. The broken rope whips loose, and the clapper drops wrong, heavy enough to crack the frame. You catch it barehanded. You hold, plant your feet, and swing the clapper back into place. A retired coach in the back pew sees it. After the funeral, he asks you one question. Can you throw? 30 years later, the town will say they heard greatness before anyone else. They will leave out the part where they laughed. Level 2. The Little Leaguer. The coach from the back pew gives your mother a card after the funeral, an address and a time Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. On Tuesday, she calls to say yes. The field is behind Manny's tire and alignment on Route 9. Plywood dugout. Tarp roof that pools water on the low end, which is where you sit. Your mother drives 22 minutes each way in a car she starts with a screwdriver, AC off at stoplights. You show up in basketball shorts and church shoes because nobody told you otherwise. Coach Gutierrez watches you throw for 11 minutes. He does not change your arm slot. He takes a roll of duct tape from his back pocket, tears off a 6-inch strip, and sticks it to the catcher's chest protector. Throw through the tape! That is the full instruction. The pitch cuts 4 inches at 58 miles per hour. He nods once. Practice continues. First season, 7 wins, 1 loss, 94 strikeouts in 49 innings. The local paper runs a feature and spells your name wrong. Nobody corrects it. A travel team plays the same weekend at a facility with electronic scoreboards. Someone's uncle keeps score for your game on a notepad from a dentist's office. District Championship. The opponent's cleanup hitter has a YouTube highlight reel 342 views, 11 from his grandmother. You strike him out 3 times. The 3rd time, the cutter breaks so far inside his swing ends up in the wrong batter's box. He throws his helmet. His father argues with the umpire for 6 minutes. The umpire weighs 240 pounds and does not move. Your mother watches from the car behind the outfield fence, windows down, because she does not want to stand where the other parents talk about travel ball tryouts. Gutierrez picks up the game ball without asking. A reporter will ask him, years from now, when he first knew. The first 11 minutes. A travel ball coach finds your mother. Summer roster spot. 4-state schedule. Fee. $2,800. She says, how much? The complete question, 2 words, no follow-up. She nods. She drives home. That night you hear her on the phone with your grandmother. The silences between sentences are where the numbers live. $2,800 is 140 Sundays of pulling the bell rope at $20 a Sunday. You do the math on the back of a church bulletin. You do not play travel ball that summer. At church the next Sunday, a kid named Marcus Pastor's nephew, $350 Rawlings signs a ball with a Sharpie and presses it into your hands. For your first real game, if you ever play one, you show the bulletin to no one. You put the ball on your dresser. You do not throw either one away. Level 3. The high school player. You never played travel ball. No showcase. No matching jerseys. A senior tells you freshmen never make varsity. You walk into tryouts because that sentence sounded like a dare to someone who has been told where his ceiling is since a funeral. 14 upperclassmen. You. Coach Dillard history teacher. Former Reds a ball. 3 seasons before his shoulder quit without notice watches your bullpen from behind the backstop. No clipboard. No notes. He watches your arm slot the way someone watches a thing they were not sure they would see again. 4 words. You are starting Friday. Sophomore year. Marcus transfers in. His father's church assignment moved. Better conference, more exposure. The reasons are always strategic and never explained to the people they affect. He is the best position player on the team by a margin that makes the second best consider switching sports. Best talker in any room he enters. By October, every player has a Marcus nickname. Yours. Ding dong. As in the bell. He says it in the dugout, the weight room, the hallway, in front of scouts, in front of the girl at the concession stand whose name you know but cannot say. It is technically a reference to your history. It is technically affectionate. The distance between those 2 technicallys is where Marcus lives. He finds the signed baseball in your locker before practice, picks it up, reads the Sharpie. You still have that? He laughs. He does not remember signing it. That is worse than if he did. Junior year. Scouts arrive for Marcus. Instagram bio. Future first rounder. They stay for your bullpen. The cutter sits 84 miles per hour, 6 inches of horizontal break from an arm slot you got ringing a church bell. Every scouting report. Elite pitch and injury risk, unorthodox mechanics. A Padres cross-checker. Deceptive but unsustainable. Dillard reads the report. Folds it in half. They said the same thing about my shoulder. They were right about the injury. Wrong about the timeline. He says it without emphasis. The timeline will reach Cooperstown. Neither of you knows that yet. State semifinal. Marcus. 3 for 4, 2 doubles. You. 7 innings, 2 hits, 11 strikeouts. You win. The newspaper photo. Marcus crossing home plate, fist raised. Your stat line is in the 3rd paragraph. Below the fold. Marcus posts the photo. 1,200 likes. You are in the background, blurred, midstream the shape doing the thing that made the clear shape possible. You turn your phone over. Senior year. Signing day. Marcus. Full ride to Vanderbilt, branded polo, his mother crying on camera. You. 40% scholarship at a Sunbelt school. Remaining annual cost. $18,400. 4 years. $73,600. Your mother sits at the kitchen table with the letter. She reads it twice. She signs it. Her hand does not shake. Yours does. You watch the pen and understand that $73,600 is not a number. It is something your mother will carry in her posture for 15 years. You put it there by being good at something that costs everything before it pays anything. Level 4? The college player. The dorm room is a converted equipment closet. Exposed pipes drip when the team above runs showers. Your roommate is a catcher from Ada, Oklahoma, who sleeks with a 6-ounce driveline plyo ball in his throwing hand because a YouTube video told him it would add velocity. 3 weeks in, it has added carpal tunnel symptoms and a nightly sound that stops at 11:40 when his hand goes numb. You do not tell him the video is wrong. You do not have the social equity to critique a teammate's routine when your meal plan does not cover weekends and your Saturday dinner is a $3.79 sleeve of peanut butter crackers from the lobby vending machine. Pitching coach Watkins, former minor leaguer, 411 innings across 4 levels before his elbow made the decision for him, watches your first bullpen and stops the drill. Who taught you that? Nobody. That is not an answer. He calls the biomechanics lab. A graduate student named Priya tapes 47 reflective markers to your arm and shoulder. The report. 23% more horizontal break than conventional 3/4. 40% more torque on the UCL. The phrase in the report. Elevated risk of acute structural failure. The word Priya circles twice. Unsustainable. The phrase not in the report. Ticking clock. They mean the same thing. One lets you sleep. Sophomore year. You lead the conference in strikeouts per 9. ESPN runs a split screen. 2 players from the same high school, both projected draft picks. Marcus wears a custom gold chain jersey number in what his jeweler calls diamonds. You wear a navy hoodie with a bleach stain from helping your mother clean the sanctuary. Marcus says on camera. He rings the bell, I answer it. The host laughs. The graphic department turns it into a chyron. Your teammates quote it for 6 weeks. One makes it his phone wallpaper. You see it charging on the bench. You say nothing. There is nothing to say that does not make the joke louder. Conference tournament final. 11 strikeouts. 7th inning, the elbow makes a sound. Not a pop. A click. You throw 14 more pitches. The click happens on 3. You win. Training room. 40 minutes of ice. The trainer asks why. Precaution. He writes one word in the log. Watch. The signed baseball sits on your desk next to the biomechanics report. 2 documents about your ceiling, one written by a 13-year-old with a Sharpie, one by a graduate student with 47 markers. Both say temporary in different languages. Draft day. Marcus. 2nd round. Pittsburgh Pirates, $1.2 million. You. Same organization. 6th round. $240,000. After taxes, agent commission, and a financial advisor who charges 1% of assets you have not yet earned. $156,000. Mother's loan balance, $94,000. You write the check the same week. What remains? $62,000. Used car, $8,400. First month's rent in a town you cannot find without zooming in twice. $725. Your career begins at 0. Level 5, the minor leaguer. You arrive at Pirate City in Bradenton with one carry-on, a signed baseball, and an elbow that clicks when the temperature drops below 70. It is 68 degrees. It clicks before you throw a pitch. Extended spring training. 4 players, 2 bedrooms. Your bed is an air mattress that loses pressure so gradually your hip touches linoleum by 3 a.m. Per diem, $35.50. Publix rotisserie chicken, $7.99, feeds you 2 days if you count the bones as a psychological serving. 6 fields and a weight room with mirrors that catch you failing at pull-ups. A sign above the water fountain. Play like a big league. The fountain has been broken since February. Nobody has fixed it. Nobody has removed the sign. You spend 3 weeks deciding which is more honest. The pitching coordinator schedules a meeting. He uses the word opportunity. Conventional 3/4 adds 2 to 3 miles per hour and removes the cutting action. His report goes to the front office. A phrase is added to your file, non-compliant with development plan. You find out 8 months later from a teammate who heard it from a bullpen coach at a Chili's in Pensacola. You refuse the overhaul. This is the second real decision of your career. The first was signing. This one costs more, and the bill does not arrive all at once. AA, the Altoona curve. 2 former first-round picks rehabbing from the majors. You strike out both. The first $12 million contract. Swing in a coaching manual asks the catcher, "What is that pitch?" The catcher says your name. The hitter, "No, what is that pitch?" The catcher does not know. Neither do you. A beat reporter writes 200 words below the box scores and above a tire ad. He calls it the church bell. You do not choose this name. It chooses you. Gutierrez mails you the clipping physical paper, physical mail, no note. Just the clipping. Just the name. September. A coach tells you to stay ready, which is what organizations say when they want credit for the consideration without the commitment. A reliever with a 4.80 ERA and a father who played in the majors gets the spot. His file does not say non-compliant. Marcus had been called up in August. 3rd game. Walk-off double. The broadcast replays it 7 times. The clubhouse TV is running the highlight when you walk in. A teammate reaches for the remote. Leave it. You watch Marcus round second, pointing at the dugout, pointing at the sky, pointing at every camera that has ever loved him back. Your elbow clicks while you hold the remote. You go to the bullpen. 30 cutters into a net. The click happens on 4 of them. You count. The elbow is keeping receipts. Level 6. The MLB rookie. You do not get the call because you earned it this week. You get the call because the second starter reached into the overhead bin at LaGuardia on a Tuesday and tore his lat pulling out a carry-on. That is the margin. 1 suitcase. 1 Tuesday. Middle seat. Charlotte connection. 1 bag. The PNC Park locker has a magnetic name strip in the same font they use for everyone. The font does not know you are temporary. Neither does the strip. First start. 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts. The church bell at 91 miles per hour against hitters who have never seen the arm slot. On video, minor league footage of non-compliant arms is not a scouting department priority. You are unknown for exactly 14 days. That's the lie. TrackMan uploads your first start 11 minutes after the final out. 11 minutes. That is how long your advantage lasts. Marcus is in the same Pirates clubhouse. 14 months ahead of you. Locker Room Podcast, 280,000 followers, walk-up song that samples a bell chime slowed to half speed. He calls you ding-dong the first week. 3 teammates laugh. By week 3, nobody laughs because your ERA is 1.89. He keeps saying it. 4th start. 3 former MVPs in the lineup. 11 swings and misses. The broadcast puts your pitch movement profile on screen, a graphic the color commentator does not know how to read. The analyst. That pitch should not work. The arm slot violates every principle taught in player development. He has thrown it since he was 11 years old. A former Cy Young winner texts the pitching coach 2 words after the game. Who's that? The pitching coach screenshots it and sends it to you without comment. You read it standing in the shower with the water off. 4 minutes. You have never been a question a Cy Young winner needed answered. On your locker shelf, the signed baseball. A clubhouse attendant 19, future front office aspirant picks it up. Collectible? Something like that. He puts it back. Marcus's autograph sells for $149.99 at the Stadium Shop, licensed, laminated, sold in acrylic cases. This one is worth nothing. It has cost you everything. June. Marcus goes 0 for 12. Post-game, he tells reporters the pitching staff is not holding leads. He does not need to say your name. You were the starter in the game he references. He had an error at shortstop that put 2 runners on before you threw a pitch. A reporter asks your response. I gave up 4 runs, that's on me. Marcus reposts with a laughing emoji. Caption. Ding Dong knows the sound. Your ERA that month, 2.14. His batting average, .211. These numbers are not in the same article. His has better marketing. The scouting database has 14 days of film. The arm slot is flagged. Unsustainable. Level 7. The MLB starter. Second full season. The league has adjusted. 29 video coordinators spent the winter cataloging your arm slot, release point, and break pattern. Hitters sit on the church bell, weight back, hands quiet. Strikeout rate. Down 19%. The pitching coach shows you a heat map. It is a target because they have made it one. You need a second pitch. The changeup takes 400 throws to produce nothing usable. High. Flat. Obvious. Your arm slot gives the speed change away before the ball clears your hand. On the 401st, the wrist finds a grip. The arm slot does not change. The ball falls off a table that does not exist. The pitching coach watches it hit the dirt. Again. 600 more. That's the one. 1001 total. You will remember this number. August. The elbow is no longer clicking. It is grinding. MR1. Partial UCL tier. 30% of fibers. Modified workload. 85 pitches. 6 innings max. You are 27. Your body is renegotiating terms you did not sign. At home, the biomechanics report is taped to the gym wall above the signed baseball. Priya's word unsustainable sits 3 inches above a ball signed by a 13-year-old. You have been reading it from the bench press for 2 years. It is not getting smaller. Marcus is traded to the Cardinals at the deadline. Goodbye press conference. I'll miss the guys. Most of them. A reporter asks who he will not miss. He smiles. The smile answers. First at bat as opponent. He taps home plate 3 times with the barrel. Slow. Deliberate. The crowd does not understand. You do. You throw the changeup the pitch from 1001 tries and he grounds out. He does not look at you. Neither of you will mention it. September clinch game. 85 pitches. The church bell thrown twice, each one alone against the elbow. The rest. Changeup, location, corners. 7 innings. 1 run. Champagne in the clubhouse. You hold the bottle with your left hand. The right arm throbs at a frequency that matches your heartbeat. Nobody notices. You notice. During the broadcast review, an analyst uses a word that has never been applied to you on television. The word is Cooperstown. He says it about the arm slot and the changeup design. Nobody in the booth corrects him. The playoff start is Tuesday. 5 innings. The elbow locks 1 degree past 90. You walk to the dugout without changing your expression. Training room. The doctor moves your arm and stops where the arm stops. He picks up a pad. Reconstruction. Tommy John. Dr. Ella Trake. Cedar Sinai. Recovery. 14 months. You are 27. You will be 29 before you throw a pitch that counts. If you throw a pitch that counts, you read the pad upside down because the ceiling is the only surface that has not already made a decision about what you are. Level 8. The All-Star player. First throw after surgery. 62 feet. The mound is 60 feet 6 inches. 18 inches past the rubber. The ball feels foreign. The graft is from a cadaver. The medical term is allograft. The honest term is someone died and now you can pitch. Nobody uses the honest term. You use it in the shower at 11 p.m. 14 months of rehab to throw 18 inches past the rubber. You do the math and do not share it. Return season. Radar gun. 87. Before surgery. 91. 4 miles per hour. In baseball, 15 additional milliseconds of decision time for the hitter. Before the surgery, hitters did not have those milliseconds. Now they do. Strikeouts decrease. Ground balls increase. You are no longer a power pitcher. You are a pitcher. The broadcast calls it evolution. Your body calls it subtraction. That season, Marcus hits .312 with 28 home runs. MVP candidate. GQ profile. Billboard in Times Square. A reporter asks him to name the greatest pitchers he has faced. He lists 4. Yours is not among them. What about him? Marcus pauses. 2.3 seconds. You will know the exact duration because you watched the clip enough times to time it. He had a pitch. I don't know if he still does. 8 million views. Your catcher sends the clip with no text. You watch it twice. You watch the pause 4 more times. Neither do you. All-star selection. 2.31 ERA on 0 dominant pitches and 4 good ones. First pitcher in 11 years to make the team post Tommy John with lower velocity. The broadcast runs a before and after graphic. Every number on the left is higher. Every number on the right is better. A 22-year-old reliever throws 101. He asks your fastball velocity. 87. He does not ask a follow-up. All-star game. 7th inning. Marcus leads off. Taps the plate 3 times. 18 million viewers. You throw the changeup born from 1001 throws, built in the wreckage of a church bell. Finished inside 14 months of a dead man's arm outside corner, 78 miles per hour. Strike 3. He walks back without looking at you. You do not watch him walk. Nothing on either face. The absence of gesture is the gesture. During All-Star Week, a documentary crew asks about the signed baseball. You tell the origin story on camera. Marcus texts after the footage airs. I was 13, actually. You do not reply. Second half. 12 starts, 1.94 ERA. The Pirates reach the World Series. You start Game 3. The Cardinals are eliminated. Marcus bats .178, strikes out 9 times. He is hired as a broadcast analyst for the series. He will sit in the booth and narrate your pitches to 20 million people. The kid who signed a ball after church and said if you ever play a real game will explain the career that sentence could not prevent. The booth looks down at the mound. Level 9. The Hall of Famer. World Series Game 3. 8 innings. 1 run. The church bell thrown 4 times each, placed at a moment the broadcast calls a decision only a pitcher who has lost everything can make. Marcus narrates every one of them from the booth. You win. 6 more seasons after that ring. You retire at 35 with 2,847 strikeouts and an elbow that does not straighten past 160 degrees. You find this out at the retirement physical. You have not tried to fully straighten that arm in 6 years. You stop trying, which is how the body wins arguments. It changes the range and waits for you to call it normal. You open a pitching academy 6 blocks from Greater Hope Baptist. The building used to be a check cashing store. Vinyl letters on the sign, 3 already peeling. You teach 6 kids the church bell mirror first, tape on the chest, throw through the tape. The way Gutierrez taught you. The Hall of Fame call comes on a Tuesday. First ballot. The bell rope from Greater Hope hangs on the gym wall. The church replaced it 4 years ago. You asked for the old one. Next to it, Priya's biomechanics report, paper brown at the edges. Below both, framed, the signed baseball. Sharpie faded from black to gray. Cooperstown. Your mother is in the front row. You thank Gutierrez. Dillard, the pitching coach who said again after the 401st changeup. Then, I pitched the last 7 seasons of my career with a ligament from someone who died before I threw my first major league pitch. I do not know his name. His family gave his body to science. His science gave me a career. I can say that out loud. That is what today is for. You hold up the signed baseball. A kid signed this when I was 11 and told me it was the closest I would get to a real game ball. He was wrong about the distance. He was right that it would take the rest of my life to get there. Marcus is in row 14. He is not smiling. He is not performing. He is listening. That is harder. You do not look at him. You do not need to. Tuesday, your gym. A kid walks in. 14. Summer warehouse work. His girlfriend is outside, not waiting well. He wants to pitch. You hand him a ball. Show me your arm. He throws. The arm slot is wrong by every standard you have ever read, every report that has ever used the word unsustainable. The ball moves. 4 inches. You do not correct the slot. Again. If this one stayed with you, like and drop a comment with where you're watching from. Subscribe for more.